Hey guys, welcome again to the channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So in today's video, we're talking about this white woman who came out and said that the currency of whiteness is compliance. Okay, I don't know what she means.
Compliance.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's find out what she meant by that word.
Wow.
Okay, let's go watch the video, then we'll come back and react. And also you can always drop your comments in the comment section what you think. Okay, before you go, please don't go without dropping a comment. And also do like this video, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, do well to subscribe. So let's go ahead, watch this video, then we'll come back and react.
The currency of whiteness is compliance, especially American westernized whiteness. The currency is compliance. And the reason that white women are so curious about you as a black woman in the South is because they are confronted with that fact, but they just don't know it. In their mind, when they see you, it triggers like this response of like non-compliance, like somebody's not complying. Like, what is she doing here? She's not supposed to be here. She's not complying with the order, and that threatens us. And I noticed this because I wasn't raised in the US, I was raised in Ukraine. We don't come face to face with racism a lot in Ukraine because there is no opportunity for it. It's pretty much like an all-white country, right? So that's not to say that racism wouldn't exist if given the opportunity. As soon as it is, it happens. As soon as it's given an opportunity, like in the beginning of the war when people were pushing black people off of trains, like to get on. It'll very much crop up there if it's given the opportunity to. I'm not saying that it's not a problem in Ukraine or other countries like it. People are racist, they just don't know it until they're actually confronted with having to deal with people of color. What I will say is because of that, because we don't have that dynamic of like slavery and segregation and like all of these things, that's why there's this common like sentiment in America about Slavic women that they're just built different, right? They may appear very feminine and like feminized or whatever, but you know, their husband is scared of them. They know that they actually control the entire dynamic kind of thing, right? Because you can only oppress women so much if there is no class below them, right? The only class that's below women in Ukraine are children. And we don't really have like a huge problem with homelessness or anything like that. There is not this multi-step hierarchy, right? There's only this power dynamic between men and women, but it's been balanced out pretty well, right? Like, yes, there are horrible Ukrainian men. I'm not denying that. Yes, some Ukrainian men are abusers and they use like religion and they use all sorts of things to abuse women. But on a large scale, what I grew up seeing was not skittish, abused women. I grew up seeing strong Slavic women because when there's nothing else to threaten women with other than like, oh, you're not going to get married or have a man or whatever, then you don't hold that much power as a man, especially in the courting stage, like in the dating stage. Like, Slavic men are on their best behavior, and there's just as much stigma for divorce for men as there is for women. The dynamics are just a little different. They're a little bit more balanced out, I would say, between men and women. Now, where America differs is that because it's such a melting pot and like all of this, the hierarchy is just turned up to 11. I mean, white women are so obsessed with compliance and they're so obsessed with keeping their place in this hierarchy because there are levels that they don't want to be brought down to, right? One of those levels being you're going to be treated like a black woman. By that I mean you're going to be hypersexualized, you're going to be treated as a second-class citizen, you're going to be made up a bunch of narratives about, and you're going to be considered like unfeminine, unruly, and whatever, etc., etc. There's like so many layers to this, right? So the reason that they're curious or that they're threatened, and I mean curious is a very gentle word to use. Like, I would say that they are threatened. They're threatened because they feel like you're taking over. In the video that this comment was left on, this is what I talked about, right? White women in the American patriarchy are especially dangerous to black women because they are okay with the structure of the patriarchy because they gave up a lot to belong to it. And by that I mean they gave up their personalities, right? This is why they have plastic smiles and no joy in their eyes, because it's all about compliance. It's not about having your own personality. It's not about having your own goals, hopes, dreams. It's about compliance. The same thing that I noticed about women in America too. As a Ukrainian woman, like, I was not so used to women just like hiding their joy, their surprise, their anger, especially. Like, white women really hide their anger because that belongs to men. In this racially charged patriarchy, anger belongs to men, but also like black people are very demonized for their anger, especially black women, right? It's angry black woman stereotype. So white women can't be that, right? If they want to keep their place in the hierarchy, which they have already worked really hard to get there and to keep, they don't want you coming along into their country club and being prettier than them, being wealthy on your own, like, because they had to give all that up. They had to give all that up. And that's why they're threatened by you. And the reason that they hover around you is because that's the only compliant way for them to make you feel unwelcome. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Jordan Peele captured this really well in Get Out when he had the black people acting like white people, and it was so uncanny. That's because there is that difference. especially in the case of Georgina. Like, that's exactly what a white woman would look like in a black woman's body. It would be very uncanny. And the way that Georgina asserted her power was by always hovering around and being in people's business. And that's what white women do. Like, that's the most threatening that a white woman can get, is to just, be there, just hovering and getting in your business. That's why there's the same like stereotype about, youth pastors' wives and like pastors' wives in general, is that they just have this very disconcerting presence where with a smile on their face, they will look you dead in the eyes and say the most fucked up misogynistic shit so that they can continue propping up the patriarchy. Right? And it's just creepy. It's creepy how they act, because it's like, why are you saying all this with a smile on your face? Because of compliance. Because the compliance part of the white woman handbook says that you have to be pretty, smiling, quiet, not cause trouble, never get in the way of the men. And the most important thing you can do is to support the patriarchy and to make sure that the men have a clear path forward, because you're next in line. You're next in line. But it's like the men are never going to move out of your way, babe. They're never going to move out of your way. But white women still, like, they have this very particular relationship, especially white women in America. They have this very particular relationship to white men, to men in general, right? Which is why White Woman Whisperer got all this hate for pointing stuff out, and she got like demonetized, like her videos were getting reported. The white women were very vicious, but very quietly, very quietly, in that very compliant way. And yet when a black man went on his platform and used his platform to speak up for White Woman Whisperer and to call white women out, the white women in his comments were very nice. They were very like, yes, like, well said, they were feeling very called out. They were not reporting his videos. It's this very interesting relationship that white women have with the patriarchy, because they feel like they're so close to the top that it makes sense for them to keep maintaining these kinds of statuses and behaviors. And I noticed this like right away about, Western white women, is that they stifle themselves a lot. They control themselves a lot. Again, this was very well exemplified in Get Out, when the main white woman character, like, everything about her is just putting on an act so that what she can actually be is this very controlled, very meticulous, very collected psychopath. Like when she's just eating like a single Fruit Loop and drinking one single sip from the straw, like, that's all intentional. Like the fact that she has all of these like keepsakes of the previous boyfriends that she has lured over into this whole scheme, because she is not actually what she pretends to be. She pretends to be a real person with real feelings and pretends to like fit into the male gaze, and she fakes sympathy and she fakes empathy and she even can fake anger and all this stuff. But in reality, she's very self-controlled. She's very meticulous. She's very like determined. Like, she has a goal. She has an end goal in mind, and she's already planning out her next venture. And I noticed this a lot. Like, this was actually really shocking to me, because like in Ukraine, like, if a bitch doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of pretending. Like, everything is kind of out in the open. Like in America, it's like these white women will be so nice to your face. They will pretend like they want the best for you. They will pretend like they have empathy and sympathy and that they totally understand what you're going through, to turn around and literally stab you in the back and exercise their power over you. When my parents came here to America, they very specifically wanted to attend like an English speaking church so they could learn English faster. And so we went to this very conservative, like, little church, and it was just full of like the WASP demographic, and it was very creepy and uncanny trying to interact with these people like as a normal person. You never know what they're thinking. You never know what's behind their eyes. You never know what's behind their smiles. They'll like nod and agree as though they really hear you and like understand what you're saying, but really it's not that. They're just complying. They're just controlling themselves from saying what they really feel. And you could tell they didn't know what to do with us, because we were like by all means white, but they still saw us as below them. They still saw us as immigrants, and they would talk to us, really slow. Even though my parents would respond back in normal speed and everything like that, they just couldn't help but treat us like second-class citizens. It was very unsettling, very uncanny. No matter what, in America, you are going to take your spot, you take your place in the hierarchy. Even if you refuse, other people will do it for you. They will place you where you belong. And in my opinion, at the end of the day, this all stems from the fact that whiteness is actually like a lack of things. Whiteness is more about what you're not and less about what you are. This is why white people have no culture, because culture is a thing that can be used to degrade people and to make them feel like they're less than. And that's why white people are like, oh, no, none of that. We don't do any of that. The culture is very prim, proper, polite, and it's more based around what you don't do rather than what it is you do. And the things that you do are very performative and only exist to perpetuate a certain hierarchy. Really freaky observing it as a foreigner. Like, even though I know that, again, I'm white, I definitely like benefit from the system. And I'm definitely also not saying that Ukrainians would be better than any other white people if they were confronted with the real life implications of what American people have been presented with. But that's really the problem. I hope I was able to articulate any of this in a way that makes sense, but these are just my thoughts on that. And please stay safe out there, because women like that are just waiting for a chance to like take you down. I love you so much. Godspeed.
This is
Wow.
serious.
Serious, serious.
Whiteness is actually compliance, because tell me why you be faking your life. Because if you ask me, at the end of the day, it's fakeness. Is you're just being fake. You're not being real to yourself. You're not being real to the people around you, and you can never know the person with you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she's trying to say. That
Yeah.
you will not know the intention of a
Yeah,
white person
yeah,
close to you,
yeah.
and they will keep doing like, oh, I like you, oh, I like your hair. Meanwhile, they don't really like your hair.
Yeah. This is something that you said that actually caught my attention. He said, when you go to the environment, as a friend, you come, they make you fall to the hierarchy that you belong. That
And
is
very
deep.
slow. They will say it very quietly, polite.
Yeah,
Imagine being polite in the wrong way.
that one is when she said when and they're trying to talk to them because they knew quite well that they are foreigners.
The
They will
immigrants.
not talk to them the way they talk to their normal.
That,
They talk to them
yes.
slowly.
Yes.
But that hierarchy one is one that is really even shocking to me. That is, if you are coming as an immigrant, what that simply means that if you go to America, people that leave their country as they have PhD, they have BSc, when you get to their country, you not go and get the job for PhD in their country. They make you fall below. That's what it means. You
Yeah.
fall into your hierarchy. Getting the job, you not get a job with Arabia. No, you get a job with
You
lower.
start from somewhere.
That's what he's saying.
You have to start from somewhere.
And they will not even tell you, but
Yes.
because the system has been built in a way that
Yes.
you can't
they
start
have
from the top.
they
No,
have
you
steeze and
start-
composure.
Damn.
And they're very
deep.
composed, like very composed. She said a very deep things here.
Very
She
deep.
said lots of deep things in this video, and I'm so surprised to see that these things actually do happen.
It happens.
Like,
You know, white are very subtle. They are, do you think
I
it's
think
easy to
growing up-
colonize the whole of the
yeah.
world? These
And growing
guys-
up, I think they impact this thing inside
What are you
of
talking
them.
about? Look at America. Look at their school system. That's why you say an American daughter, a boy, from day one is confident and bold to
Yes.
tell you, to confront you. From outside, she had to learn it, and she's smart anyway. We're like, they won't say, don't be deceived. They are not
Yes,
saying,
they
but
won't
what
even
is
say it to
underneath?
you, but as in underneath
You have to open your brain.
you have to look beyond what they are saying.
They're saying physically,
There
yeah.
is something inside of their mind. You have to look at their attitude,
I understand.
their facial expression, how they kind of speak to you when they are speaking to you. What are they saying beneath what they are saying?
Yeah, that's it. They are
Like-
compliant. They comply in the physical
Yes.
and the verbal.
Yes.
But underneath,
There is
a
an undertone
lot
that
of
you're not
tones
listening to,
that,
and you have to actually pay attention to it. That's what she's trying to say in this video. Like, eh?
There's so much. There's so much.
It's
There's
so much. Like,
There's so
guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section, because seriously, have you experienced this? Okay, and what's your thoughts on everything she has said? Are you a white person, a black person, whoever? Let us know what your thoughts are. Do you believe in everything she has said in this video? And to worsen it up, she's actually not an American, she's Ukrainian, and she's also not a black. So she's telling you from her
Even
own
white
perspective.
ass level.
Yes, white has level.
So
There's
that-
level
that
to this
white,
thing.
what?
Yes, there's hierarchy to this thing. There is levels. So in our own level, this is what I'm experiencing.
But this is summary. The summary is that you must be smart enough when you get to an environment to study and know your environment,
Yes.
so that you know how to operate.
Yes,
That's the summary.
yes.
For me, yeah.
Seriously, you just need to, when you're speaking with people, understand their tone. Look at facial expression. You know how people will be talking and say, "No, look at my face. Don't look at my face." It's a lie. Look at their faces.
But you know this guy, their facial expression is even not what they are saying.
Sometimes some people's facial expression can really
Deny them.
Can
expose them.
yes.
But what she's saying is that they be nice. It's a lie. What is underneath?
So look beyond what you are seeing
you are
in the
saying,
physical.
that's it.
Look beyond what they are saying and try to penetrate their hearts.
their heart. That's-
because
that's it.
I know that reading the mind can really be hard, but it's
But
not
over
it's possible.
time, you will get it, because there are some
possible.
things you can't fake for 100
For a very
times.
yes.
If you are doing something,
100 times
alright,
still
I'm
long.
just trying to give you grace now.
Yes.
Let's say you're a perfectionist at the disabled
Yeah.
You can't
There's a
get
lot you
100,
can't really
you can't.
fake. Yeah.
You can do it 99 times. Maybe that one is all I just need. And
The
you
truth
fake
is
it,
always
and it's
somewhere.
obvious.
It's just for you to open your eyes and
That's it. That's it.
Anyway, guys, let's know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, this is the perfect time for you to hit that subscribe button, like,
comment,
share everything.
and
Just
what
do
else
it.
again?
Thank you so much, guys, and see you guys on our next video. For now,
Bye.
bye.